Today, we're going to replace these flimsy two-piece Toyota splash guards with these custom-made, do-it-yourself ones. So stick around and I'll show you the step-by-step process. Now, there are several different options if you want to replace your splash guards. You can do the OEM ones for around $18 to $30 per corner. You can look on Amazon and do the Amazon replacement ones. I did order these for about $26 and the holes did not line up, so I sent them back. You could order the ARC one-piece replacements. This is probably a really good product if you want to, skip the whole do-it-yourself part. Or you can make it yourself for around $32 and a couple hours worth of time. Right, here's all the supplies you're going to need to do this. You're going to need the plastic itself, 20 of these little rivet fasteners. To cut out the plastic, you're going to need a good pair of scissors or shears. I use a silver streak pen to actually mark on it before I cut it out. You're going to need a printer and 8 sheets of paper and some tape. I used a 5/16 punch. I found that was the easiest way to cut the holes in the plastic. Alternatively, you could use a drill. Here's my little dead blow and a piece of wood used to punch the holes. And to mark, I use this center punch. Pretty straightforward. I think anyone can do this. It just takes a little bit of time. After downloading the template from the Tacoma World site, I cropped it using a free cropping editor online. Then I used Adobe Acrobat in poster mode to print it on 8 pieces of paper. And here is the template printed. So now I'm going to cut out around the outer edges and tape everything together. After cutting and aligning everything, taping it together, this is what you end up with. I went ahead and marked all of the 2nd gen holes off since I'm doing this on a 3rd gen. Marked it in accordance with the original poster's markings. So the next step is going to be to test fit, and then we'll transfer this over to the rubber. With the factory piece put in place, you can see how the holes line up. Looks like this front one might actually be the lower hole. This hole's missing. That one's good. That one's good. On the back, if you line up this hole, you can see this one's a little off. This one's a lot off. That one looks good. This one is also off. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark where these other holes should be, and then we'll put the piece of paper in place and see how that looks lined up in the wheel well. Okay, this gives you a pretty good idea of what the coverage looks like. Looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and cut out the rubber and we'll get this going. Here's the template laid out on the rubber. This is just a Versatex mat. I think it was 36 by 60. Got it for around $30 off Amazon. So we're just going to trace out the outline and then we'll cut everything out. I used a silver streak marker that I use for welding, but you can use a paint marker or any other contrasting color. Now we're going to go ahead and cut it out. The stuff is pretty thick, so you're going to want a good sharp pair of scissors to cut these out. I'll link this pair below. It cuts through this stuff like it's butter. Here's the first piece all cut out. Now we just have to punch some holes and go fit it up. As far as fasteners go, here are the factory fasteners. And these are the ones I ordered off of Amazon. So they both require about a 5/16 hole. A few different options for making the hole. You can use a step bit, a regular drill bit, or a punch. We'll try all three and see which one works best. And we'll start by using our center punch to mark the hole. For this first hole, we'll use the step bit down to the 5/16. Alright, the step bit made a pretty clean hole. We're gonna have to go up and clean it up a little more. A couple options for cleaning it up. You can use a rasp, you can use one of these deburring tools, you can use a knife of some sort. Let's see what the deburring tool will do. That worked pretty well. So does that. The knife is a little too big, but it can still be used. For this next hole, we're going to try the punch method. That gives you a very clean hole. It doesn't require any post-processing. All right, for this third hole, we're gonna try a standard drill bit. See how that works. All right, that works okay. Still gonna need to go back and clean it up a bit. And there you go. 3 different tools, 3 different holes. The punch, I think, is the way I'm gonna go for the rest of them. But they don't have to be super clean anyway because they're gonna be covered up by the fasteners. Now with all the holes made, we're going to gather 10 of the fasteners and go install it. I'd say the fit's pretty good. The only thing that I would change is this flap here. It doesn't, I can probably push it in and line it up, but it's a little long. All the other holes line up great. This angle might be a little off. But overall, this is pretty solid. See if I can just get that pushed up in there. Yeah, it's a little too much. So I think what I'm going to do is pop a new mounting hole in right here and trim this piece off a little bit. Here's a look at the final fitment. Way better coverage than the factory setup. I'm pretty pleased with this. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful for some of you guys. A special thanks to the guy on Tacoma World who made the original template. It was super helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Tacoma do-it-yourself projects.